welcome you very warmly indeed to this tremendously special occasion. Those of you who make a point of studying the Homerton statutes and ordinances, which I appreciate is only a small handful, though I ought to add that it's a handful of people it's very useful to have on speed dial in case of an emergency. These people at least will know that according to our statutes, we are required to convene an extraordinary meeting of the governing body in order to swear in a new principal. In accordance with this, on previous occasions, the swearing in of the principal has happened behind closed doors. But we felt that it would be more in keeping with Homerton's openness, its spirit of egalitarianism and inclusivity, and its pride in being outwards looking, to open up this event so that the whole wider Homerton community could come together to witness us formally welcoming Lord Woolley to our college as our next principal. I'm therefore delighted that we are joined today in person by staff and student representatives, and virtually by students, alumni and friends of the college who are watching this event via the live stream. Electing a new principal is a momentous thing to do. However crude and haphazard it might be to do so, we measure the life of an institution such as ours in epochs marked by the tenure of a head of house. So the arrival of a new head of house brings with it a new era, and hence inevitable change, a new sense of direction, a renewed sense of purpose, fresh vision, perhaps even some trepidation. So today feels significant, because with the election of Woolley, we are consciously, collectively, deliberately entering a new phase in our history. But in fact, what happens today is the culmination of a much longer process that began with a period of reflection over a year ago, when we embarked on a college-wide consultation and initiated a whole college conversation about what our aspirations were for the next phase of Homerton's future, and what kind of a person we were looking for to help us to realise those aspirations. This period of reflection involved thinking hard about what kind of an institution we want to be, who we want to bring into the institution, what we want the people we bring in to achieve in the coming years, individually and together, and how we want to go about getting there. This conversation revealed that we were looking for someone who would embody the college's values in all that they did and said. Someone who would articulate these values and make sure that they frame our choices. Someone who would be a standard bearer for the aims of the college, and a facilitator and enabler of others. Someone with intellectual and moral purpose. But someone who would be straight talking, accountable, transparent and visible. Someone with passion and drive and ambition for the college, but who would be down to earth and approachable, involved in and interested in the day-to-day management of the college. As one member of the community memorably put it, we were after someone who would roll up their sleeves and work hard. We wanted someone with an ability to imagine and enact change. But it was vitally important to us that we found someone empathetic, compassionate, a listener, someone who understands people, especially young people, and can see the world through the eyes of young people. We wanted to find someone with a track record of quiet doing, not bombastic showing. Someone with humility, integrity, warmth. So it turned out not to be difficult at all to establish broad consensus. The challenge was always going to be in finding it. Our solution to this problem was to throw hard work at it. The process for searching for our new principal involved a truly eye-watering amount of hard slog. Much of which was carried out by the steering committee, which comprised a subgroup of fellows, who oversaw the process and dedicated hours and hours to the task. I think people would be genuinely astonished to learn the lengths we went to satisfy ourselves that we were making the right decisions at every turn. Simon knows this. He experienced the whole ordeal from the other side of the fence. We subjected him and other shortlisted candidates, and I counted this last night, to at least 15 forms of trial non-academic staff, academic staff, students, the Vice-Chancellor, and eventually the meeting that really counted, an interview with the entire governing body. Since all of this was taking place in the middle of a pandemic, the entirety of this process was conducted by Zoom. Indeed, not a single one of us had laid eyes on Simon until after he had accepted the job. Luckily, we were able to arrange an on-site visit for him very soon afterwards, and we managed not to put him off. Over the course of this painstaking and lengthy process, one person in particular was beginning to emerge as someone whom we were starting to suspect might bear an uncannily close resemblance to the fantasy figure conjured by our wish list. But equally importantly, this person was persuading us of the sincerity of his interest in us. It was becoming overridingly clear that there was one candidate in particular whose values and personality and approach were instinctively in step with our own. In Simon Woolley, we are confident that we have found exactly the right person for the right moment in Homerton's evolution. And timing is important. As everyone here knows, Homerton has a long and proud history as a place that has always been committed to public service. It has always been a place of non-conformism, not afraid to do things a little bit differently, to experiment, to stand up and fight for social justice. In its earlier incarnation as an internationally renowned teacher training college, Homerton was for several centuries at the forefront of education innovation. In recent decades, the college has been on a journey of rapid change, as everyone here knows. In 2001, it began to admit students from across the tripod subjects, and in 2010, it became a full college of the university. Now, as Cambridge's newest college, it remains unafraid to be a bit different. It continues to champion innovation, to experiment with new ways of educating and supporting students, and it is unwavering in its determination to extend the opportunity for a world-class education to those who have not traditionally had the chance to access it. It is remarkable how quickly Homerton has evolved from one sort of centre of excellence into another. But for all that we are proud of what Homerton has become over the course of the past 250-odd years, we don't now yearn for stasis. Homerton's evolution is ongoing, which is precisely how we like it. Indeed, at Homerton, we don't want merely to be moving with the times, responding to an agenda for change. We want to be defining the times, shaping and leading the agenda for change. And this is why we could not be more excited and fortunate that Simon Woolley is about to become Homerton's next principal. Simon has spent his entire life fighting for change. He has done so by spotting and nurturing talent, often in unexpected places. And he has advocated and agitated for the transformation of institutions to enable the conditions to be in place for talent from across the board to thrive. He has quietly but effectively been bending history, sometimes patiently, and sometimes with just the right amount of impatience to make things happen while somehow keeping everyone on side. What Simon has achieved is awe-inspiring. He takes up this position at Homerton already laden with honours in recognition of all that he has done to champion equality, in particular through his organisation, Operation Black Vote. In 2019, he received a knighthood in the Queen's Birthday Honours, and in that same year, he became a crossbench peer in the House of Lords. He has an honorary doctorate from the University of Westminster, and just this month, he received the Lifetime Achievement Award at the National Diversity Awards. Simon, we could not be prouder of all that you have achieved so far. But more important than anything, we're looking forward to working with you because we know that it is not the awards and the glory that motivates you. It's the fact of doing good, the desire to change people's lives for the better, the compulsion to spend your time helping others, especially those who have had to fight against the odds, to flourish. These are the things that motivate you. At Homerton, you're joining a team of fellows, staff and students whose motivations are the very same. We will be right behind you, working alongside you as you lead Homerton into the next stage of its evolution. We know that you're keen to get started straight away, as are we all. So perhaps we're going to get you installed so that you can roll up your sleeves and get started.
Thank you.
So I propose that we now move on to the formal ceremonial part of proceedings.
Thank you.
I'm just going to...
Okay. Jump the gun.
In accordance with Statute 6, Paragraph 7, as Vice Principal of the College, I invite the Principal-elect to read the prescribed declaration and to sign the Book of Office.
I, Simon, Lord Woolley of Woodford, accept the office of Principal of Homerton College and promise that I will fulfil the duties of that office to the best of my ability. And I will loyally observe the statutes, ordinances and good customs of the college, and that I will in all things endeavour to promote the peace, honour and well-being of the college.
I declare that Simon, Lord Woolley of Woodford, has duly entered office as Principal of Homerton College.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you so much, Louise. Actually, I think we should stop there, right? I mean, it doesn't get better than that. It was a beautiful introduction, and having started this journey with you in the conversations, as you said, over weeks and months, and interviews after interviews, that I really know how sincere that you are, Louise, and the rest of the team. So I'm excited. I'm really excited to begin this journey with you today, and I want to begin, of course, first by thanking Louise, but also Jeff Ward, the principal who gives me the baton. And he said to me, "How fast can you run, Simon?" I said I was a 100-meter champion at school, so it's all good. And you know, there's big shoes to fill. I mean, he has given me a platform, a great platform, to ensure that this institution shines brightly, not just in Cambridge, but across the UK and beyond the UK too. And of course, what I've learned by listening to him is that it's not one person. It's the Homerton team. It's the Homerton team that make this an incredibly special place. And I feel really deeply privileged. You know, in the last few months, I've been trying to get to know everything about the college, and I want to thank a few people that have just been so kind, so generous in their time in helping me get accustomed sooner rather than later. Deborah, and if you're here, please just raise your arm so we can see you. Paul, Matthew, Penny, Simon. You've been great. You've been generous, extremely generous. But I actually also want to pay tribute to Claire Ryan. Where's Claire? Hey, Claire. I don't want to embarrass you, but Claire's been helping me with everything, helping me move, helping ensure that I don't miss any appointments, but also getting me this gown. And she said to me, she came into the office with the gown, and she said to me, Simon, I've got a secret to tell you. And I said, oh, gosh, what's this? And she said, this is no ordinary gown. The wearer of this gown that I'm wearing, is bestowed superhero powers. Superhero powers. So move aside Batman and Robin, Captain America, Superman. The new superhero in town is the head of Homerton. But you know as well as I do, it's not just about me. It never is about me. It's always about us, and about what we collectively do. And so I don't know how, Louise, that you organise this today of all days, right? The 1st of October, 2021, is the start of Black History Month. Start of Black History Month, when we are here together making history. This is history in the making, right here. And I think that when we embark on a journey of making history, I don't know about you, but I feel that today we have a dream. That's right, we do. We have a dream for our students, for our researchers, for all our staff, academic staff and non-academic staff. And the dream is for our students, of course, for them to fulfill their great academic potential, right? To be the best they can be. But we have a bigger dream than that. We have a dream that these students that come into this estate, these walls, will be good citizens, able to do great things. Great things. That we have a dream that those students coming into this place have a great sense of belonging. That we're together, we respect each other. We don't mind if you're affluent or not, as long as you buy into our values. As long as you buy into the mission, the mission that we can change the world, the mission that we can look after each other, the drive that I know that all of you get up in the morning every single day of the year when you come into this place thinking, I'm involved in a special place. I'm involved in nurturing a generation of leaders. How lucky are we? How lucky am I? And you know, I've had the opportunity to see some of those leaders that have been in this college and are doing great things. I remember employing a young man, Jason Arthur, when I'm a director of Youth Futures Foundation, and we employed him as a director for this charity. And he left after a year, and I said, oh, Jason, man, why are you leaving? And he said to me, because I've been asked by Lewis Hamilton to head up his Project 44. Now, we know Lewis Hamilton is a masterful Formula One driver, and he takes the knee for race equality. But he wants to do more than that. Lewis Hamilton wants to change our world, and he chose someone from Homerton to do it. Right? Another friend of mine, Miles Stacey. Miles Stacey is in Downing Street, special advisor to the Prime Minister. I know what some of you are thinking. Not a walk in the park. one of us, one of our own. There's another woman too who was head of Unison, Susie Dunstan. She was head of children for UNICEF, doing great things. One of us. And if we go way back when, I didn't know till recently, what about Dame Leah Manning? What about her? Superwoman, right there. Back in the day when Franco was bombing Guernica and about to bomb Bilbao, that she took 400 or 500 children and took them to safety. She went on to become an MP. One of our own. A dynamic woman in a difficult time who sought to change the world. You know, for me, when I read about Dame Leah Manning, that there's a special resonance to me. You know, there's a park in Bilbao. It's called Plaza Leah Manning. And Bilbao was a special place for me because my son Luca is Basque. He was born in Barracaldo in Bilbao. I mean, I think if he was here, he'd say, yeah, okay, Dad. He'd say, Dad, I'm a Londoner, right? But then he'd say, tengo mucho orgullo de mi país vasco. Sí, Papa? Yes, son. I know you're proud. I know you're proud of your Basque heritage. I know you're proud of your mixed heritage. And so we can see great individuals, and we want more, right, Louise? We want many, many more to fulfill their great ambition in this place. You know what I like about Homerton and the people in Homerton. Yes, we have a dream, but like my great hero, Dr. Martin Luther King, we also have a plan, right? You know, his plan back in the day, back in the civil rights movement, was to first of all empower African Americans to register to vote. And so once they had that political power, they were able to say, we're not asking for justice. We're not asking for equality. We're demanding it. Demanding it. And then he went on to empower poor white people too, with the people's marches, to ensure that they had a voice. But we have a plan here. We have a great plan of learning, of teaching. And I want to know what you've all been doing these past 18 months. I need to know about the great gems that you've learnt in this lockdown space that we can use to turbocharge change. We have a plan. And talking about change, I am doing somersaults with excitement about change makers. Where's Alison? Where are you, Alison? I'm so excited about it. I mean, this is I think it's the only college in the world, right? That I read some of the notes, and it's extraordinary, the vision that you have, that says that we want individuals to fantastically develop, to look inside themselves, to be part of the planet, to work with big business. I mean, you say quite rightly, Alison, that you are fantastically ambitious, and I love that. We are unashamedly ambitious for the young men and women that will come into this space. So there's so much rich stuff going on, and it's just fizzing with excitement. Louise, I can't believe I'm getting paid for this job. Aaron, I can't believe it. You know, I'd have done it for free. I shouldn't have asked him today, should I? I mean, the other thing that is a priority to me, I know is a priority to all of you, is this well-being space. You have had the most challenging difficult 18 months. And I know, Penny, that you've worked far too hard. I do know it, and you've done it because you care. Because you fantastically care about the well-being, the academic well-being, the mental well-being of our students. And I want to lean into that, but I want to lean into it not just for the students. I want to lean into it for you too. We've got to take care of you too. We've got to take care of the cleaners, of the groundsmen and women. We've got to take care of everybody if we are to be the best we can be. And so I'm speaking to Deborah and others, and we are fantastically exploring to have in this college a head of well-being. Head of well-being. For all of us. And it's not just the reactive stuff, you know, when you get into a problem, when you get into difficulties, but what about proactive? The proactive piece that helps us be the best we can be. I don't know whether there's any football fans here. I mean, Clara said to me she's going to drag me to Cambridge United because I'm an Arsenal fan, and she said I can see some real football. She said that too. That I was listening to Match of the Day, and I was struck by the commentary that says that Brentford United in the Premiership, they have sleep doctors on their team. And I'm thinking about it for a second. I'm thinking, how sensible is that? That if you're the manager, you want your team to be the best they can be, and they can only be the best they can be if they get a good night's sleep. But frankly, who teaches us how to not just sleep, but sleep well? Who teaches us that? Who teaches us how to deal with stress? I mean, you know, you all know that there are times of stress in this place. We have to learn to manage it, to use it, to know when we have to take a walk around the block or a cup of tea, or, you know. And if we can bring people in that will help us. And the final thing on the well-being for me is that, having spoken to a lot of people who've been in institutions like this, and they said the time, Aaron, just flew by. And it's only 10 years later that they could look back and think, actually, it wasn't that bad. Well, that's okay, but it's not good enough for us. We need to be taught, helped, so we can live in the moment. So we can savor what we're doing right here and now. And so the experience in Homerton is not something that you reflect on when you're a CEO, but you can live now in the present. We can do all of this and more with leadership. And you'll get to know me and what I think about leadership. Leadership is not just about the leadership team. It's about everybody. It's about everybody owning that leadership space. That I'm really pleased that if they're here, can they please either stand up or show their arms? Phoebe and Harry, where are you? Where are you? Stand up, Phoebe and Harry. Stand up. Young leaders, give them a round of applause. Yes, that's what we do. Harry, Phoebe, you don't have to wait to be leaders. That I'm a disciple of Dr. King, and I've seen the civil rights, the freedom riders. They were leaders at your age. And you can tell anyone that listens, Simon says I'm a leader. And I can do great things. Not just because I want you to, but because we need you to. We need you to. And so in closing, I feel incredibly humbled, incredibly honored to have this super gown, Claire. But to be on this journey with you, this next journey, let's be clear, there'll be a few bumps in the road. There'll be those that will try and divide us, particularly on the social level, on the affluent or not affluent level. You tell them we're united. You tell them that. You tell them that the whole is greater than the sum of our parts. That we're on a mission. We're on a great mission to do wonderful things for our students here, for our communities outside, for our society, global society. That's what we're doing at Homerton. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now, thank you. Now to work. No, I am told under good authority, Matthew, that there is some tea and biscuits, and I might have a gin and tonic. But I'm going to enjoy this journey with you. I can't tell you. Oh my gosh, that's applause from a higher power, right? Thank you, God. Thank you. Let's have a cup of tea. Thank you.